Y'all, hey, welcome back to my channel. Thanks so much for stopping by. Y'all, it's Saturday and I need to clean my house, which I know you're thinking, so clean your house, lazy. It's not all that easy because look, I got all these books I need to put up. It's worse than you think it is. I got to clean up all these books and clean off my table, but before I can clean up my books, we got to haul them and talk about them, which is what I keep telling the intern. And he says, well, get to hauling then. So I tell you what, I got a tasty beverage going over there. So I'm going to get my tasty beverage. I'm going to get the book set up. I'm going to get myself and the furry felon settled down, and I'll meet y'all over there and we'll haul some books. And in the meantime, y'all go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you can keep up with the shenanigans. All right, I've got my books. The felons are settled over there, but they're very close. So at any time, we could be rushed by the furry felons, but we'll see how it goes. So I have my beverage, I have the books. I started to, as always, I started to try to organize my books, but then like I would get some sort of organization going and then something would feel like it needed to be shifted into another pile. So finally I was like, we're just jumping in. So let's just dive in. Now, this, y'all saw the pile on the table. So this is like just a bunch of books that have come in a bunch of different orders, like different book orders, not like a bunch of different like sequences. Duh. But like I've ordered them from different places at different times. So I don't really know where they've come from. They're just all here. So let's talk about them. Get a Life, Chloe Brown. One of y'all told me that I have to read this, so I got it. I believe that, let me think about what I think I know about it. I think Chloe Brown had did she have some kind of like near-death experience or something and decided she needed to get a life? So now she has a bucket list of things that she needs to do, and love wasn't on her to-do list. Falling in love was not on the bucket list, so I'm guessing there's some sort of love. And I think this is like this series. I have read people talk about representation of people with like chronic illness in these. So, and I think it's good. Like I think people appreciate the representation of chronic illness in these books. I'm not really sure, but so y'all said read it, so I'm reading it. The Poppy War, I believe, is fantasy. I think it is about a poppy war. I really don't know much about it. I believe it is some kind of, y'all, help us out in the comments if you know about this book, some kind of haves and have-nots in a society that's like precariously bad, like they're at peace but just barely, and like always ready to go to war kind of thing. And something about our main character is like, oh, maybe she's a war orphan or something, and she's like she is unexpectedly tapped to like be the hero. All right, I'm going to move this like further up the, like closer to the front of the list of books to read because I'm a little embarrassed at how little I know about it. So I'm going to go ahead and talk about Daughter of the Moon Goddess because I know very little about this one too. So I'm going to go ahead and continue to embarrass myself. Look how beautiful this book is, y'all. I believe this is based on a Chinese folk tale in which the daughter of the moon goddess has to free her mother from some sort of captivity. And I don't know who has her mother, like who has captured. I did almost say captive. Who has captured the mother, like how the mother is in captivity. But the daughter has to free her. That's what we know about that. Done and dusted, I know nothing about, but y'all, seriously, again, cute cover. And you can't really see, but and I don't know why I'm showing you after I told you can't see, but the cover is made to look like one, like not just the art on the cover, but like it's like dots. So it looks like it's one of those old, like, what are they called? The Pulp Fiction books, like on that were printed on that like really like cheap yickety paper, but it is obviously a cowboy romance. And I don't know if y'all remember, but I'm obsessed with why did I almost say Lucy Lawless? Y'all, who is Lucy Lawless and why did that just fly into my head? That is not even almost what I meant to say. What I meant to say was the book. Now I'm all flustered and I don't know what I want to say. Is it Flawless by, it's Flawless by Elsie Silver. Nothing at all to do. Y'all, I have to look up Lucy. Hang on. I'm going to look up Lucy Lawless right now and see how embarrassed I should be at coming up with that name. Lucy Lawless. Oh, okay. She's just an actress. Okay. Nothing to do with Lucy Lawless, but Done and Dusted is a like a cowboys on the ranch romance. And there is a series much like the Elsie Silver. Is that the right name? Now I have myself all flustered because Lucy Lawless flew out of my face hole. The Elsie Silver books that are a series, but it's not like, I think the people are interrelated, but it's not like you don't follow the same like couple from book to book. I think these are maybe that same kind of thing, but Done and Dusted is the first of the books. Frida McFadden, who wrote, not The Handmaid's Tale, that's a completely different book. Housemaid, The Housemaid. Is that right? Holy Moses, did she write a lot of books? The Housemaid's Secret. Yeah, The Housemaid, which everyone has read. The Teacher. I believe, so I don't think the teacher is the bad guy in this. I'm not sure, but I believe that there's some like sketchy, like maybe killed somebody with a knife student in the teacher's class. And so like the teacher is our main character and we like have to figure out what's going on with her. But Frida McFadden, the teacher. I have The Handmaid House. We need a list of books that I can't read because I'm not going to be able to say the titles, like Caraval. And now apparently The Housemaid, because I'm going to call it The Handmaid. And wasn't there another? I'm sure there's another one that I kept. No, it's Caraval that I was thinking of. I know there's another one. It'll come to me in a minute. But I'm going to be afraid to say it because I'm going to say it wrong. But need a list of books that maybe I'll read and just like point to the cover instead of trying to say the name. Kristen Hanna, Night Road. I know literally nothing. Okay, I don't know nothing about this book. I know that it was written by Kristen. Y'all, I'm going to do that thing that students do when you ask them a question about something that they're like supposed to have prepared for class and they have not prepared it, so they talk around it. Like, Night Road is a road at night, and it's a book by Kristen Hanna, who writes books, which are things that you read. So yeah, I don't think I know anything about Night Road by Kristen Hanna, other than apparently it was on sale somewhere, so I bought it. Y'all know that I love Kristen Hanna. I love her writing. She has written some books that have like made me cry so hard they've rearranged my molecules. I fall for her shenanigans every time, where she like slides in a little bit of sad on you, so then you're like, oh no, I'm good, I got this. And then like just as like once you calm down and you think you're over the sad, she like slams something into you so hard that it like rocks your understanding of the world. That's Kristen Hanna. I've read multiple of her books, and only one of them did not do that to me. And the one that didn't do it to me, I kept waiting to get Kristen Hannah the whole time I was reading it. So, I mean, it was almost worse than not getting Kristen, or it was almost worse than getting Kristen Hannah, was waiting to get Kristen Hannah and it not coming. So, I got that to look forward to with Night Road. Good Girl, Bad Blood is a sequel to A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, which I have. It's upstairs somewhere. I have not read it yet. So I'm doing that thing where I buy sequels to books when I haven't read the first book, but at least I owned the first book. I know. Y'all, this disappointed me so much. So this is One of Us Is Next. I know you can't tell because the dust jacket is gone. People, don't take the dust jackets off your books. What is wrong with you? It is One of Us Is Next, which is the sequel to One of Us Is Lying by Karen McManus. I read One of Us Is Lying. I've told y'all about my 15-year-old best friend, who is not my best friend. She is a student of mine. I do adore her, but we started working together last summer in a grammar class, and her mom was all excited to realize that I teach reading because the student was like, I'm not a reader. I'm not going to read. I don't read. And so we started reading the Inheritance Games books together. And y'all, literally, I cannot keep up with her reading now. Like, we read all of the Inheritance Games books together over last summer. And I had to stay up late at night reading to try to keep up with her, and I still couldn't keep up with her. And then she read 2 more series that summer that one of them I didn't even bother trying to keep up with. Anyway, we're reading these together now. Thank God she's in school, so she has schoolwork to do to slow her down so I can at least try to keep up. I say all that to say that's why I got this book. Of course, I got it on Kindle and all the places too, but it is the sequel to One of Us Is Lying, which was really good. So One of Us Is Next is next. I'm not going to start about dust jackets. Leave the dust jackets on your books, people. I am going to start just for a second. I happened upon a video where a girl was talking about like her icks, and she said, I just saw one, these things on the books that look like stickers, but they're not, and you can't peel them off. She said, that's an ick. Well, then she said, dust jackets. I don't think I have a hardcover book here with the, yeah, I do. Dust jackets on hardcover books. She's like, spoiler alert, I just throw them away. And I was like, sorry, I'm making a lot of noise. I just recoiled at that. And then she went on about how they're a tactile ick for her, and that it bothers her when the edges of the dust jacket get crumpled up, so she just throws them away. This was probably her book. Y'all, the dust jacket, the crumple on the dust jacket keeps the book from getting crumpled. I can't. I seriously can't. I'm going to calm down. I'm not judging people, y'all. I'm not trying to be a gatekeeper. I'm not trying to say that if you take your dust jackets off, you shouldn't be allowed to read books. I'm just saying be kinder to your books. So, with all that having been said, let's talk about how gorgeous this book is. Under the Whispering Door. Remember, we read The House in the Cerulean Sea, which I call The House on the Cerulean Sea, The House by the Cerulean Sea. I think it's in the Cerulean Sea, but it is by T.J. Klune. I loved that book. Y'all, we're going to talk about this in a minute, but there's a sequel coming out to that book. I'm horrified to read, but we'll talk about that in a minute, because this one, I'm not sure. I feel like I knew what Under the Whispering Door, did I even say the title of this book, Under the Whispering Door? I feel like this has, okay, this is an actual sticker. Like this, I'm not going to peel it off right now because I'm afraid I'll tear it. But this is an actual sticker. But y'all, look at this. I intentionally actually paid extra for this book just for that. I know. So I think, oh, I know what it is, kind of. So this dude, I think the Grim Reaper comes to get him, and he doesn't know he's dead, or he's not ready to be dead, or something about like his end of lifetime, or I guess his beginning of afterlife time, because the Grim Reaper's there, so he's dead, or something. Like something about him struggling with crossing over. And y'all, let me tell you what. If you haven't read any of, okay, I've only read one of TJ Klune's books, so I can only speak to The House on the Cerulean Sea, but y'all, it is just so touching. The characters in that book are, oh my God, they just steal your heart. They are, I don't even know how to describe it. So we talked about it. We talked about that book. There, and I don't want to like go all back into that, but The House on the Cerulean Sea is an orphanage for kids with special powers, and they're sort of locked away from society in that orphanage, supposedly like to help them find homes and stuff, because you know it's an orphanage, but really simply to isolate them from society. And the way that TJ Klune writes those characters and deals with their feelings and their interactions and helps us get to know those characters and like guides you into falling in love with those children is, it's just beautiful. And so I say that to say that I'm worried about, not worried, but I expect that this is going to be very touching, and that the main character is probably going to be a bit of a curmudgeon, and we're going to learn as we go through this, like him getting used to being dead or whatever it is, that we're going to learn things about him that'll help us understand his curmudgeonliness, and we're going to be in love with him, and then we're going to cry at the end. It's my prediction. But look how, y'all, I can't get over how beautiful this book is. I forgot, this was in the pile, and I forgot how beautiful this book is and how excited I am to read it. So I'm moving like 9 books up my TBR list. So let's just keep going. My grandmother asked me to tell you she's sorry. I'm probably the last one to read this book. This is Frederick Bachman. I think I call Frederick Bachman every name under the sun other than Frederick Bachman. I think I called him Richard Bachman in the last time I talked about him, which I think was a combination of Richard Bach and Frederick Bachman. Remember Richard Bach? We all read him back in the 90s, that one and those books. Anyway, I'm avoiding talking about Frederick Bachman because Beartown. Benji. That is all. I believe that I've read a Frederick Bachman book since... I'm tearing up thinking about Benji. Y'all, seriously, Beartown broke me. I believe I've read a Frederick Bachman book since Benji. I think I read Anxious People after the Beartown trilogy. So this will be my next one. This is not moving up the list. This is going to move down the list. And did I say that I had another Frederick Bachman book that I was going to carry around and get used to the idea of reading? And then I was going to read it. I didn't do it. I did not. Y'all, I'm not ready. I am not ready. So I have this. I will set it places around the house so that I will continue to see it and try to get myself ready. But I just almost cried at the thought of Benji Ovich, so I might not be ready. I know. I have issues. We know this. Every Summer After, I believe this is... I'm not sure. I am not for sure on this one. But I think this is, and based on the picture on the cover, I'm thinking I maybe am wrong. So I was thinking that it was sisters. It was like a sisters go to the family cabin where they like vacationed together growing up as kids, and they have to go through some sister thing. I think this is a female main character went through something and ends up having to go back to, I do think it's a like coming of age. No, not coming of age. I do think our female main character, something about our female main character did something, maybe like made some dumb decision, dumb mistake, whatever, and used to go to this lake maybe for summers, stopped going back, and now she has to go back for something like, I don't know, somebody died or something. So now she has to go back and face either what she did or like go back to like all of these old relationships that she's been away from for so long every summer after. Pretty cool. So I did the rapid fire book, what is it? Rapid fire book tag, where it asked if you judge a book by its cover. Seriously. Seriously. This one too, look how pretty it is. Make it sweet. Look, that I keep looking at it like make sweet. What does that even mean? That's an it. Make it sweet. So this is something about an actress whose character gets killed, and then something about her character gets killed, so she gets written off her show, and her boyfriend cheats on her, so she needs to get away. So, you know, the whole thing, gets away, small town. I don't know that it's a small town, but I think it's one of those like, remember, what was the one that we read where, I really liked? The Christmas one where the FMC, female main character, goes to Montana and ends up meeting the guy in the small town and, of course, falls in love and all the things. And she was lying and I'm not even going to, what was that? I was going to say I'm not even going to try to think of the name of the book, but now it's going to drive me crazy if I don't. Was it How to Ruin the Holidays? Something about ruining the holidays. This sounds like one of those. The Bodyguard. I believe, so this is like a twist. I believe our female main character is the bodyguard for the main male character. So all the tropes, I believe they end up, I think this is a fake dating. So you know it ends up being like fake dating into like they actually real date, which is, well, we'll read this and see because I have some assumptions. I have some things that I expect we'll have to be dealing with that. Yo, there are a lot of books here. I need to hurry up. The Flat Share. I don't know, other than that I think our main characters like share an apartment, but like he works nights and she works days, or she works nights and he works days, so they share a flat, but they never meet until they do. Like they maybe meet and they don't know, each of them doesn't know it's the other that they're meeting. Like they meet on the subway or the, I don't know, tube, or it's a flat, so maybe it's London and they meet in the tube. I don't know. Speaking of my book tag, we were talking about hardcover and paperback, and I said that I cannot stand mass market paperbacks. Y'all, this is exactly why. I know we have talked about this book 7 different times because I said that I wanted to read it, but look at this. This is ridiculous. So I got it and I hauled this. Y'all have already seen this copy, but the trade paperback of it is so much cuter than the mass market paperback. I don't know why I feel like I need to make this argument that this is why I don't like mass market paperbacks. And I do have multiple copies of this book. Now, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put this one in my car. And remember that little, what is it, the little free library thing? The free, is it called a little free library? I'm an idiot. That I found when I was out driving around the other day. I'm going to take this and put this in there because I'm never going to read this because now I have this. All right. Anyway. Okay, let's get into some things. We talked about The Deal, right? I read The Deal and I loved it. Well, go ahead and judge me. I got the rest of them. So the next one is The Mistake, and then The Score, The Goal, and the legacy. Now, there are some like, you know, so there's like book one, this is book two, and then there's like book 1.75 or something. I didn't get any of the novellas. So I just got the actual books. So quit. It could be worse. And then, okay. Then I got, so these are the off-campus series. So then I got book one of the Briar U series, which is The Chase. I know. Quit. We talked about Cassandra Clare and Sarah J. Maas and how they're all mushed together in my head. But that I was going to read, I don't even know which is what anymore, but there are a bunch of series of both of theirs that like you got to read one series to read the next series to read the other series. And there's this book that I have, I think it's Cassandra Clare. I'm not looking it up. I'm just going commando on this one. I believe it's Cassandra Clare, and you'll know before I do because you'll see it right here and you can see her name. So, but I bought that book because it was the first of a series, but that series is one that people say you need to read after literally 6 other series. So I've started collecting her books. So I got City of Glass, Clockwork Angel, which it's not very pretty. I was hoping it would have pretty things. It's not very pretty, but it's got a dust jacket. So City of Glass, Clockwork Angel, and Clockwork Princess. So these are all Cassandra Clare. Oh, that's what this was it. Infernal Devices. Which I'm going to call the wrong thing. I'm going to call Immortal, or I'm going to call those the wrong thing. So we have the Mortal Instruments, which this is book 3. I believe I have books 1 and 2 upstairs because I think I looked when I was buying these. I looked at what I do and don't have. So there's those. And y'all, I'm just going to gradually work my way through those books because there's so many. But this one, the Mind F series, I might just sit down and read all at once because I'm so thoroughly excited about this one. Okay, y'all know how I loved Butcher and Blackbird. I might go ahead and reread Butcher and Blackbird right now because I loved it so much. And I might actually, so I listened to Butcher and Blackbird because the Butcher is Scottish and, oh my goodness. So now that I have this, I almost said the sound of the Butcher, let me calm down. Now that I have the Butcher's voice in my head, I can go back and like do like eyeballs on words and read the book because I'll hear the voice actor's voice when I read it now that I know what he sounds like. Y'all. But so, Butcher and Blackbird are serial killers. And they're our friends. The Mind F series, I believe, is about a serial killer who somehow ends up dating or in a relationship with an FBI agent, maybe the agent that's hunting. I think the serial killer's the female. Yeah, like I think, look, it's got painted nails. I think that's her. So I think the serial killer is the female, and so I think the serial killer is the female, and the FBI agent is hunting her. And I've heard divinely twisted and fabulous things about this. So, y'all, these, I forget to say which books are on Kindle Unlimited. I'm horrible about that. I'm so sorry. And I keep meaning to start doing that. What I might need to do is start putting like post-it notes on the books that are on Kindle Unlimited. The entire Mind F series is on Kindle Unlimited. I know. I said I was going to try to start not buying books that are on Kindle Unlimited and just buy them on Kindle or just read them on Kindle Unlimited. I'm going to try, just not today. Today is not the day. So the entire Mind F series is available on Kindle Unlimited. If We Were Villains, I don't know a thing in the world about it other than it is dark academia. And I believe this is the one that has a bunch of, is this the one that has a bunch of Shakespeare stuff in it, like Shakespeare references? So I thought that would be fun. All right. Let's get into something. I know I keep saying let's get into something. We've been into something for probably an hour now. So I think I mentioned this a little. Oh, yeah, I did. I mentioned this when I was talking about the house in the Cerulean Sea, that I'm horrified about the sequel. And I've said this before, that some books I love too much. Like, not too much. I love some books so much that reading the sequel scares me. Because I'm like, well, what if it's not as good as the original, like the first book? What if it's not as good? So it concerns me. And y'all, I have a bunch. I did arms today and my arms hurt, but these, I have a bunch of them that we need to talk about. So some of them, I'm worried about our friends. Like, I'm worried about our friends in the books, what's going to happen to them in the sequel. And some I just worry that maybe they're not going to be as good, and they're not going to be as good. So Ruthless Vows I got. This, of course, is the sequel to Divine Rivals. Y'all, I should have pulled Divine Rivals because it is beautiful and this is beautiful. Oh, so pretty. So, Ruthless Vows. I worry about all the things with this. This Divine Rivals was beautifully written. It was lyrical. And like I told y'all when I was reading it, there's war-y stuff in it. And so that always concerns me that they're going to blow up my friends. So here's that. ACOTAR, I hauled this when I got it. So y'all know I have this. I'm going to start reading this. But I'm already worried about what's going to happen in A Court of Mist and Fury. First of all, is this the next one? Did I buy these in the right order? Yes, I did. Okay. Great time to check, right? So, I don't have much. Ooh, that's pretty. Can y'all see that? It's like gray on gray or black on gray or something. It's really pretty. I don't have a whole lot of concern about this because I haven't read this yet, so I'm not really worried about my friends. And I have heard and read that this series actually gets better because, of course, in these like big old series of fantasy books, there's lots of world building in the beginning. So I don't know these people yet. I don't care. That's awful. I am rereading Ninth House so that I can read Hellbent. Y'all, I'm worried. I'm very concerned. I'm concerned about a couple of things. One, I'm going to have to speak very judiciously when reading Hellbent because, like, the whole premise of this book, I feel like, is kind of a spoiler for Ninth House. But I worry, y'all, there is so much going on. And it's almost impossible that we get all the way through Hellbent without something bad happening or without us learning bad things about people that we think we already know things about. Does that even make sense? I don't even feel like I'm speaking English at this point because I'm so like this already. So, and y'all, we are not even to Fourth Wing. So all the things about this one. I am worried. Oh, look how pretty. So this is, of course, Iron Flame. This is not Fourth Wing. This is Iron Flame. This is the sequel to Fourth Wing, which is a book. Oh, look how pretty. About a war with our friends riding dragons who are also our friends. I can't. I literally cannot. I'm barely over what we went through in Fourth Wing. So this is going to take me a while because, for one thing, I want to go back and reread Fourth Wing to get ready for Iron Flame. And I'm not ready. I'm not, I mean, it's not Beartown, but I need to stop. I need to stop. This is going to be the year that I get over Benji Ovich. No, it's not. It's really not. But I'm not yet ready to go back through what we went through in Fourth Wing. So I'm very concerned about what we're going to go through in Iron Flame because y'all, they always have to escalate, right? Like it can't just be the same thing all over again. It's got to be more. So I'm just worried. I'm worried about my friends and sequels it's a sequel so far, right? This, I believe I know that there's going to be a third book. So I can't even get to the second book yet. And I don't know what they're going to do with this, but y'all let me know in the comments. Does this end at Iron Flame or are we like in for a haul with this one too? No, don't even tell me. Don't even tell me. I can't even. But I think that's it, y'all. I think we are done with all the books. I think we made it through. Let me know. I don't even know what questions I have. Let us know in the comments which ones you've read. For one thing, anything I need to be warned off of, I think all of these are fabulous. I don't think there's a single one here that I don't think that I know it's going to be good. At least good, if not great. So, which is the problem because I have 40 books sitting in front of me. So let us know in the comments, have you read any of these? Do you know any of the authors? Which ones are good? Which ones are not as good as I think they're going to be? And y'all, in the name of all that's holy, if I need to be warned about, please, spoilers, no spoilers, no spoilers. But if I need to be warned about anything with the sequels that I'm worried about reading, please let me know in the comments. Y'all, thank you so much for hanging out with me. If you made it this far, we are most definitely friends. So go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you can keep up with the shenanigans. I upload food and fitness videos at the beginning of every week with some book videos sprinkled in between. See you on the next one.